Good evening and welcome to the Bison Information Network. I'm Malik Mitchell.
And I'm Dash Menzel. We have the latest campus and local news coming up in this evening's newscast, so you don't want to go away. The Pulse campus tour stopped by NDSU this past Tuesday.
I got a chance to attend and get some insight on what this organization is all about.
On Tuesday, the Pulse campus tour had a free concert featuring popular gospel artists and other acts at the Memorial Union. Now you might ask, what is Pulse? Pulse is an organization led by evangelist Nick Hall that spreads gospel through in-person and digital outreach events.
Pulse started through my English paper as a college student. And since that paper, we've seen over 300 million people hear the gospel. And in the U.S. alone, we've seen over 1 million young people respond to Jesus. We believe this is a revival generation, and we're planning outreach events and training events around the country and around the world to reach this generation with the gospel.
The Pulse campus tour is a free outreach concert traveling to several college campuses. This concert was not only open to college students from NDSU, MSUM, and Concordia, but also open to the public as well. This concert featured the dance group The X-Files, well-known Christian rappers Hovey, Lecrae, and Nick Hall's inspirational gospel message.
So you can waste your whole life chasing everything else, or you can stick a stake in the ground tonight in the ballroom at NDSU and say, tonight I'm coming home, Jesus.
If you would like to be a part of a religious group, you can go on My NDSU and check out several religious groups here on campus. For the Bison Information Network, I'm Malik Mitchell.
If interested, make sure you visit the My NDSU website for more information. Many students on our campus struggle with chronic pain, digestive issues, migraines, or other ongoing health challenges that make typical day-to-day activities associated with college very difficult. If you struggle with any of these, you are not alone. The NDSU Health Concerns Support Group is a support group that is a safe place to discuss these challenges and where you can help one another through these struggles. This group is open to any NDSU student with a chronic health condition. If you have any questions or would like to join this group, please contact Jaron Allen at jaronallen@ndsu.edu. NDSU is offering students to join along on a guided cross-country ski trip through Lindenwood Park. Skiing will take place on Saturday from noon to 4 p.m. This trip gives students the opportunity to learn the basics of cross-country skiing while experiencing outdoor recreation in the Moorhead area. Gear is provided, but students may bring their own. The cost is $10 per person. Transportation to Lindenwood Park will be provided from the Wellness Center. Registration opens today.
The Spring Career Expo took place yesterday at the Fargo Dome. This event provided a great opportunity for students to meet a wide variety of employers. Employers who attended are actively looking for student talent to fulfill both full-time positions, internships, and co-ops. This event was also open to all majors. If you were not able to attend the event, make sure you visit handshake.com and view all the companies that you missed. And the Human Progress and Flourishing Workshop invites international re-owned scholars to present their research. This type of research presents all solutions and policies that contribute to opportunity, innovation, and individual and societal flourishing. On Friday, Ian Rowe, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, will speak at the Breckworth Recital Hall at 10 a.m. Rowe will discuss the blaming on the system narrative that teaches kids they are powerless against societal forces. This event is free and open to the members of the NDSU community and the public. The workshop format includes a 40-minute presentation followed by an audience Q&A.
The recent sub-zero temperatures may have caused some of us to hibernate in our apartments and offices. However, it is never too cold to go out and game. The NDSU Grad Hub will host the first 2023 weekend gaming event for graduate students on Saturday at 1 p.m. Games included will be Pictionary, Apples to Apples, and a trial of Cards Against Humanity. Any grad students who would like to attend are requested to use the RSVP to event, so there is a reasonable guess about attendance size.
NDSU provides housing for more than 7,000 guests each summer. These guests participate in athletic camps, academic programs, and summer school, and more. Residence Life is hiring a team of students for 3 different positions to help make the summer housing a success. These positions range from conference team members, RAs, and senior RAs. Applications are due February 26th. For more information, you can visit the NDSU Res Life website. And on this week's edition of Bison on the Street, reporter Jacob Morgan went out and asked people about the Super Bowl trivia anticipation for the big game this Sunday.
Welcome back to the Bison Information Network. I'm here doing another Bison on the Street. We're in the Union. Today I'm here with
Schomer, Travis Imholt,
Gabe Schneider,
Uriel Guzman.
And I'm going to be asking Schomer a few questions about the Super Bowl this weekend. So the first question is, where's the Super Bowl being played this weekend?
Shoot. I'm going to go really basic. Arizona.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what stadium it is. I'm gonna just guess. Is it Las Vegas?
Arizona Cardinal Stadium.
Arizona.
That is correct. How many times, including this one, has the Super Bowl been played?
56, I think.
Been played total?
Yes.
This is like 56. I want to say 54.
This is the 57th.
That is correct. So who's performing the halftime show this year?
I have no idea.
Taylor Swift.
Beyonce.
Was it Rihanna?
That is correct. And how much does a 30-second Super Bowl ad cost?
I want to say upwards of 1.5 million.
$10 million.
A lot, like probably like 100,000.
$500,000.
$7 million. And I got 2 more questions here for you. So, how much is the average cost of a Super Bowl ticket?
I think it's like $15K.
Like 6,000.
$7,000.
9,000.
That's correct, $9,000. And this last one here is open-ended, but who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this weekend?
I'm gonna say the Eagles.
I'd say the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Philadelphia Eagles.
A long-awaited project in downtown Fargo got the thumbs down from the Fargo City Commission. A meeting on Monday discussed moving forward or stopping a proposed pedestrian bridge project. This bridge would have connected the walking paths along the river by 2nd Street North to the space in front of City Hall. The commission voted 4-1 to stop the project, with the mayor Tim Mahoney being the lone vote to keep the project going. Commissioners say they want more of a plan for a proposed plaza in front of the City Hall before they build a bridge to connect it with the Riverwalk. If the city would want to pursue the bridge in the future, it would have to reapply for federal funding, which isn't guaranteed. The Fargo Police Department says quick thinking by an on-site security guard stopped an attempted armed robbery at Gunderson's jewelry store. Wednesday morning at around 10:30 a.m., several suspects arrived at the jewelry store, one of them showing a firearm in an attempted armed robbery. An on-site security guard acted fast and locked the doors of the store, preventing the suspects from entering. The suspects fled the scene southbound on Veterans Boulevard in a dark-colored 4-door sedan. If you have any information related to the incident or the suspects, you are asked to contact police at 701-476-4098.
Crunch Fitness opened its first location in the area last month on 13th Avenue South in the former Toys R Us building near Walmart. Crunch offers people another place to lift and do cardio. Memberships start at around $10 a month. Moorhead Bowling Alley Sunset Lanes hosts College Night on Thursdays at 10 p.m. Bring some friends and enjoy $7 all-you-can bowl till midnight. Grab pizza, drinks, bowl, and play in the arcade. For more information, you can visit bowlingsunsetlane.com.
A legal nonprofit is helping a Fargo business owner try to stay open after the city says it's violating zoning laws. John Boltman, owner of John's Repair, is fighting against the city's demands, which demand that he shuts down next month or faces fines of $1,000 a day. The Institute for Justice began working with John last month, and they called the city's actions illegal and unconstitutional. The Institute for Justice says it recently sued a Texas city for shutting down an auto repair shop and won their case.
On Monday, Turkey and Syria suffered a huge earthquake, leaving more than 20,000 people dead and tens of thousands of people injured. thousands of buildings collapsed in both countries. Aid agencies are particularly worried about the northwest in Syria, where more than 4 million people were already relying on humanitarian assistance. National governments of many countries, including the UK, the US, China, and Russia, are providing aid, including search and rescue experts. Next on this evening's newscast, I got a chance to sit down with the president of the Bison Student Veterans Organization. That and more when we come back.
I'm your friend.
I am your coworker.
I'm your neighbor.
There's no set person that defines who needs help in North Dakota.
I play cards with your grandmother every week.
Hunger is becoming more and more widespread and more known because there are people standing up and saying, hey, this can't happen. We can't be having this in our state, in our community.
I sit next to you in math class.
So it's proving that they're learning better and they're not coming to school so hungry on Monday morning. We're engaging them and we're helping them learn. I mean, people want to help their fellow citizens, and in this food bank, in this agency, that is exactly what's happening, is people really, truly care.
I'm here.
I'm here to change the faces.
I'm here to change the faces of hunger.
One kid, one mentor, plus one moment can unlock limitless potential. One heart-to-heart, one inside joke. 30,000 youth are waiting. Be there for one of them. It's time. Become a big today.
And we're back with the president of the Bison Veterans Organization, with Devin Patton. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Great to have you on. So just to start off, what is your organization for those who don't know here on campus?
Sure. So at NDSU, we actually have a really large military and veteran population. It's around 400 students.
Yep.
So we're the only student-based organization for those students specifically. So what we do is we connect those students with other service members of the same branch, different branch. Doesn't really matter, but we also tell them about the benefits that are available to them here at NDSU and in the surrounding Fargo-Moorhead community.
Okay, and how long have you been involved, and why'd you get involved in this organization?
2-3 years. I joined BSV right when I came to college. I had about 14 days from when I transitioned from being active duty Marine Corps to coming to college and study engineering. So it was a very hard transition to try and talk to people who didn't understand anything, where I had just spent my entire seemingly life. So I found Bison Student Veterans, and I connected with some of the older veterans throughout it, and we just kept talking, and then they had me elected as president the end of the spring semester 2021.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since, and we've just been growing and growing and growing.
So what are some of the things you guys do on a weekly or either monthly basis to achieve your mission?
Sure, yeah. So we meet twice a month. The first meeting of the month is more of our formal, like we pass official business and everything. So we'll talk about our initiatives that we're pushing through the NDSU administration, and then we usually have a speaker from the community come in and talk about disability benefits, resume building, like how to translate military skills to civilian skills. We have mental health come in and talk. Pretty much anything and everything that the veterans or military service members want, we just request and they come in and talk to us.
And then you guys were recently at the Student Veterans National Convention in Florida. What was that experience like? Because that's got to be, first of all, you got some good weather, finally.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Fargo's been pretty cold, so how was that experience like?
Yeah, it was great. Florida in the beginning of January, can't complain.
Yeah.
I think we missed like negative 19 and below here.
Definitely.
It was our first time sending a chapter from North Dakota at all to this conference. It's been around for 15 years, and it was surreal because usually we're meeting with other student veteran organizations that have been around and established far longer than ours at NDSU. So we started in the end of 2018. So a lot of other campuses have full things like a resource center where their veterans can go and meet and drop off their stuff for the day, or they have veteran-specific tutors or study spaces specifically for the veterans and stuff. So those are all initiatives that we learned and got contacts on how to push those here at NDSU. So that was really one of the most rewarding things about the experience. And then also we got to see more of the Capitol Hill approach of what all these student leaders are doing to push Congress to change benefits for veterans and military service members in student areas across the U.S. entirely.
Okay, and then for those who don't know, how can someone get involved in this organization? Is there some, obviously they can probably go on My NDSU, but how can someone get involved with your organization?
Yeah, My NDSU is the official way that it's tracked. If you end up getting an email from me, that means that you're already on the list, right? Usually the Veterans Coordinator, Jim Stoddard, he's our advisor, so he reaches out to anyone and everyone who is a military or veteran student, and he'll tell them about the organization, their first semester here. So he'll invite them. We usually have a breakfast or a lunch that we do during the first week of the semester, and that's kind of, we lure them in with free food and then just keep them for like the next 4 years. We don't really have a hard way of passing our information around other than email. We don't have an office or anything. Like we have a space identified for a resource center, so that'll be coming probably next semester sometime in the fall. So then we can direct people to, hey, if you need something, go to the Veteran Resource Center, and then they'll find Bison student veterans there and probably come in that way. But right now there's not a whole lot.
Alrighty, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Logan Gittenberg has your Bison Sports Report. Stay tuned.
There are so many great things to experience at NDSU. It's hard to pick one, but my favorite is
the people. They make it such a warm place. The Bison aren't just across the country, they're across the globe.
It's the perfect distance from home. The faculty are our biggest cheerleaders. Hands-on research experience. The affordable tuition.
All the opportunities to stay active on campus.
Real-world learning experiences.
Once I got on campus, it felt like home.
My name is Addie Stewart, and I graduated from NDSU in the Department of Communication in 2018. My degree was in strategic communication, and I'm the communications specialist for the city of West Fargo. That includes social media, press releases, breaking news, interviews, media relations, and more. I went into communication because I wanted to do something I was passionate about. There were so many opportunities. I knew I could work for nonprofits, government, small business, agency work. Professors in the department definitely impacted me a lot in my life, making sure that once I graduated college, I knew I could get a job here just because of the connections in the department and the great morale that was in Fargo. Future students should definitely come to NDSU because it's a degree like no other here.
The NDSU bookstore has everything you need to show off your Bison pride. The bookstore can have you sporting green and gold wherever you go. It offers many different brands, sizes, styles, and selection so that you find exactly what you're looking for. Shop the NDSU bookstore and show your spirit today.
Welcome back to the Bison Sports Report. I'm Logan Gittenberg. Coming off their win versus North Dakota, the men's basketball team traveled to South Dakota this past Thursday to take on the Coyotes in conference play. Plagued by a miserable 52% from the free throw line, the Bison would fall short to their tune of 62-71 against their rival to the south. Junior Bowden Skunberg led the way for the Bison, dropping 23 points as the team's leading scorer on the night. Grant Nelson put up a double-double with 13 points to pair with 13 rebounds. They weren't done in South Dakota, as the team would travel to Brookings to face off against the red-hot SDSU Jackrabbits. The Bison did take the win in their previous face-off, but history would not repeat as they lost an 85-90 nail-biter. Grant Nelson went off, leading the way with 27 points and 15 rebounds for NDSU. Shikari White was feeling it from downtown, putting up 18 points aided by 75 from deep. Freshman Damari Wheeler-Thomas stepped up for the team with 13 points and 4 assists to help the effort. The men's team will be back home tonight in an attempt to get back on the winning track. They will host Omaha at 7 p.m. and can be seen live on ESPN+.
Just like the men, the women's team took on both their South Dakota rivals. However, they got to stay home and play host to both teams. They would welcome South Dakota to Fargo with an overtime thriller, with the Bison triumphing 86-82 in a game that may have taken off a year or two from every fan in attendance. Heaven Hamlin led the charge for the Bison with 28 points and 8 rebounds to her name. Freshman Elle Evans assisted Hamlin with 18 points, 7 boards, and 4 blocks. Taylor Brown contributed 13 points to the effort as well. Yet they wouldn't have long to bask in the grueling win as they welcomed SDSU into town only 2 days later. Perhaps the previous win took more out of them as they started hot but would collapse after the first quarter, being outscored 39-7 over one stretch of the game before falling 54-82 to the Jackrabbits. Freshman Elle Evans was atop the stat sheet once again with 11 points and 2 steals. Abby Schulte aided with 9 points of her own, and Taylor Brown was just shy of a double-double with 8 points and 7 rebounds. The women's team will look to bounce back from the demoralizing loss as they travel to Nebraska to take on Omaha at 7 p.m. The game can be watched on Mavs All Access or heard on Bison 1660. With the weather warming up, that means the track and field teams are also warming up for a busy season. The men's team hosted the Bison Open this past weekend with events going on throughout Friday and into Saturday. They would go on to dominate the meet, taking first place with 267 points, a 170-point lead over second place. Josh Knutson etched his name into NDSU history, breaking the school record for the 300-meter with a time of 34 seconds. NDSU graduate Trevor Otterdale recorded a lifetime best of 23.5 meters in the weight throw. And senior Jacob Roden would break his own record from last season, recording an 800-meter time of 1 minute 48 seconds, trimming 0.3 of a second off from last season. The men's team will be busy once again this weekend as they head to Nashville for the Music City Challenge on Friday and then travel north to Brookings for the SDSU Indoor Classic. The women's team also played host this past weekend, and the theme of dominance would continue as the Bison would take first place with ease with a total of 277 points, a roughly 160-point lead. Junior Lyce Jennings tied for the NDSU record of the 60-meter dash with a 7.5-second time. Teresia Bolabrock climbed to second in NDSU's history books with an 8.5 60-meter hurdle time, and Kendra Kelly won the 200-meter dash with a 24-second time, just narrowly missing the NDSU facility record. The women's team will also be busy this weekend, but in reverse order of the men. On Friday, they will travel to South Dakota for the SDSU Indoor Classic before heading south to Nashville for the Music City Challenge on Saturday. The wrestling team was busy this weekend with meets in back-to-back days. They would kick off the weekend in Colorado, taking on Air Force on Friday. The Bison would be all over Air Force, dominating them in a commanding 32-10 win. NDSU would score 3 pins and 2 major decisions on their way to picking up the convincing win and their 5th straight victory. This win marked the 4th straight time that the Bison recorded 30-plus points in a duel and the 6th one on the season. But they would not have time to rest on their laurels as they woke up the next day to face off against Northern Colorado. The Bison fell behind early, but closed strong en route to a much-needed 23-15 win against Northern Colorado. With this win, the Bison now have a 6-duel win streak, their longest that they have had since they won 7 straight in the spring of 2020. The team will return home to face Oklahoma this weekend in a match that should be circled on every Wrestling Fanatics calendar. You can watch the game on WDAY Extra or listen in on Bison 1660. And with the snow melting outside, that means one thing. Softball season is right around the corner. While the fields may not be ready for some time yet, the team will be in action this upcoming weekend as they travel down to Mexico for the Puerto Vallarta College Challenge. The team will play several games over the course of the next 7 days, kicking off with California Baptist on Friday. They will then face off against Brigham Young on Saturday, before a doubleheader against Oregon and Maryland on Sunday, and finally close that stretch with another doubleheader against Ole Miss on Monday. It'll be interesting to see how the Bison open the season after being chosen to finish 3rd in the Summit League, missing out on second Omaha by 1 point in the preseason coaches poll. Also, keep an eye on senior pitcher Lainey Lyle and junior outfielder Emily Baringa, as both will likely be crucial to the team's success as the year moves forward. Well, that's all we have this week for the Bison Sports Report. Let's take it over to weather with Coy. Coy, I saw a lot of sun and melting this week. Can we expect some more of that this weekend?
Yeah, we had a great week weather-wise, and looking ahead to this next week, we are looking ahead to see a lot more of that. Taking a look at the current conditions right now, we are seeing temperatures at 17 degrees Fahrenheit coming to us from the Hector International Airport. However, with all that wind we've been having, the wind chill does drop that down to 0 degrees, and we are having winds out of the north at 25 miles per hour today. Taking a look at the hour by hour for the rest of the night, we are seeing mostly clear skies until we get into early tomorrow morning, and temperatures will be hanging right around that 0-degree mark. Taking a look at the skycast. This morning, sun rose around 7:40 a.m., sunset 5:42 p.m. Finally crossed that 10 hours of daylight there, so that's always good to see that. Getting the daylight back in the double digit for hours for there. And then we are currently in the waning gibbous phase. Just came off of a full moon just a couple nights ago, and we are going to have that third quarter coming up early next week. Today's almanac, today's high was 26, a low of 8. Pretty close to what's expected for this time of the year. The record high was in 1918 at 42 degrees, and the record low was way back in 1888 at negative 47 degrees. Taking a look at what's going on across the country, nothing too crazy. We are seeing temperatures in the teens in the Fargo Moorhead area, and that's about as cold as we're going to get for across much of the country. We are also seeing some temperatures down in the 80s down in the panhandle of Florida, so good for them. We're not going to quite see temperatures like that for quite a while in North Dakota at least. Taking a look at what's going on for the rain and snow, not a whole lot to worry about here either. A little bit of snow over in the Nevada and California area there, and then besides that we are seeing some rain down in the Florida, Georgia, Alabama area there, and then just a little bit of snow up in the northeast part of the country. Taking a look at the weekend coming up, tomorrow will be 26 degrees as a high and then a low of 6. And then Saturday and Sunday will both have a high of 34 with a low in the low to mid 20s. Taking a look at the rest of the week, Monday will have a high of 33 with a low of 13. Tuesday, Valentine's Day, will have a high of 34 and a low of 23. Then Wednesday, we are seeing temperatures drop off a little bit with a high in the mid 20s. And then Thursday continues to drop off a little bit more with a high of 16 and a low of negative 3. This week we also got a picture sent in to us from Cree in Watford City, North Dakota. Just a really cool picture there, the pink the pink clouds coming up over the hill in the background there. Just a really great picture. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. We always enjoy seeing them here in the studio. If any of you watching at home see any interesting weather in your area, then be sure to snap a photo or grab a video. You can submit them online at www.ndsubin.com/news. Well, that's all I have for the weather forecast this week. Back to you at the desk, Logan.
Sounds like it's going to be a good one, and I, for one, cannot wait to continue to enjoy this recent warmth once again this weekend.
Oh yeah, we're getting some springtime weather now.
We are long overdue for it, that's one thing for sure. Well, that is all we have for you on this evening's newscast. Thank you for tuning in to the Bison Information Network, and we will see you next time.